Hi, Walter. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm fine too.
That's great to know. Well, I asked for the time to 10 minutes more, right? To have a my recess, I guess it was. Because I was when I woke up, I always woke up at 6 a.m. could be, and then as I live in near from a main avenue, right? It's very currently, and so then I listened to a sound that it's weird, right? So I heard scream, so right, so I got
Oh,
scared. So I went to the street, and it was an accident
oh, really?
near from my door. Yes, it was terrible because it was a motorcycle and this was a car, and this car didn't respect the lights, right? And yes, so all my neighborhoods, right? We went outside to help this guy, so we were waiting for the police. And then the guy asked me if I could take his cell phone and his backpack. So I was with everything in there. So it was terrible because I was waiting for the police and then just arrived. But luckily the guy is okay, I guess. Nothing terrible. I don't like to see this kind of things because I feel terrible when I see blood and them. But I wasn't the first person that went outside. So luckily, everything is okay. For that reason, I was a little bit late. I'm so sorry.
Okay, don't problem.
Okay, so we're gonna start with today's classes. This lesson is very easy, right? So okay, so we've seen on Thursday we've seen the adjective clauses review expansion, right? Today we're gonna look for well, it's not grammar, right? It's a modified grammar. I mean, we have a throughout the time some in some communities, right? The language it's adapted, right, to our society. So that's the reason why we have this lesson, because we didn't have, right? So and it's very very useful. You're gonna watch it maybe in some movies. We're gonna look for this expression maybe in movies, and then it's an expression, right? And it doesn't have a meaning, right? The first thing is that it doesn't have a meaning. So for example, we have I do think. Okay, so let's listen the audio.
Hello, how are you? The grammar point we're going to study now is using the auxiliary verb for emphasis. I do think you'll find it very useful. Let's begin.
Okay, so we're going to look for auxiliary verbs for emphasis, right? Again, they don't have any meaning, okay? They don't have any translation or something like that. It's only the emphasis. So we're gonna listen the first point.
We often use auxiliary verbs for emphasis to give something special importance. Auxiliary verbs include the verbs do, be, and have, and modals like can, could, should, and will. A lot of people didn't believe Nick, but he was telling the truth.
Okay, in some cases, we already have auxiliary verbs, right? So then it's unnecessary to add another auxiliary verb for emphasis because we already have. Okay, in this case, we have the auxiliary here is didn't, right? But it's up to you if you're gonna use it as an emphasis. What do I mean with this? The stress that we put in some words, right, is the important part more than the auxiliary. Of course, if we want to emphasize more, right, this is stress, okay, it's what or is going to help us in order to give a stress, to give an emphasis, like, okay, look at this part, what I'm gonna talk about. Okay, so this is important part. Okay, so in some cases we already have a verse for emphasis. So what's going on if I already have? We're gonna look for it in point number 2, but it's not more than a stress, right? For example, we have the auxiliary verbs like do, be, have, and modals like can, could, should, and will, right? Of course, we have does, we have was, were, and then. So in the past, in this case, we have the simple present, okay? But all of them are part of the group of the auxiliary verbs group, okay? So let's continue with point, of course, something that I was forgetting. We're going to use this emphasis in order to give special importance to some words, as I told you, right? So it depends on in what way are you going to pronounce something, right? Because notice that when I'm talking, I'm using a rhythm that it's not important, right? But if I want to emphasize, I'm going to change my rhythm as I just did. So let's continue with point number 2.
If the sentence already has an auxiliary verb, we emphasize it by putting more stress on it when we speak. When we put stress on a word, we make it longer and stronger. Hey, Nick, you should see this commercial.
I have seen it.
Did you know that Talia was offered a job in Chicago?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay. We're gonna continue, right? And this is what I mentioned, right? If the sentence already has an auxiliary verb, we emphasize it by putting more stress. This is stress. We are gonna change the rhythm. And the same happens in Spanish, right? So when we speak, we put the stress on a word, we make it longer and stronger, okay? That's the stress, that's the meaning of the stress. The rhythm of your voice, right? The rhythm, in what way are we gonna pronounce some words, right? It's gonna help us because we're gonna say to the listener that here goes an important information. Okay, we actually use the verb to do, right? To put emphasis on both for negative and positive statements, and for sure in questions, right? And we can also refrain from, or we can avoid using contracted forms, right? Of the auxiliary verbs when it's not possible to use to do to add emphasis, right? Moreover, we have some ways that we can apply these auxiliary verbs for emphasis, but something that we don't do is if you're going to use the emphasis, right, the auxiliary verbs for emphasis, we currently don't use contractions. Why? Because it's an emphasis, right? So what could be the point of my auxiliary verb for emphasis if I'm gonna try to contract to my subject, for example? It doesn't make sense. Okay, so for that reason we avoid to do that. So as I told you, we can use the verb to do is the most frequently, right? So if you are going to notice in one sentence you want to add more emphasis, but then there is nothing there. What do I mean with it? We don't have any verb to be, the verb do, and have in modals, and then, right? So if it's the case, we use the verb to do, okay? For emphasis with answer, for example, and this is something we've learned in some a time, right? Time ago. Yes, I do like a lot. For example, do you like my new shirt? Yes, I like a lot. Yes, I like a lot. But if I want to add more emphasis, yes, I do like a lot, right? I do like a lot. I know at the beginning it sounds weird for students because they've never heard some cases before of this because we have two verbs in one. Tenemos el choque de verbos, right? So for that reason, it's complicated. But remember, we are not using this auxiliary in order to give a meaning, okay? It doesn't have any meaning. And the same happens with the verb to do, right? I guess it's the only one that doesn't have any meaning as an auxiliary verb, right? So if you want to translate word by word, then you are not going to have a translation for it. So we're going to continue with point number 3, and it's a little bit of what I mentioned a minute ago. So let's see.
If the sentence does not have an auxiliary verb, we use the auxiliary do, does, or did for emphasis. Notice that the base form of the verb always follows do, does, or did.
Too bad you don't like soccer.
I do like soccer. It seems like just yesterday.
It does seem like yesterday. I guess things worked out for Jackie.
And for you too. You did score the winning goal.
Okay. All right, so as I told you, if we already have an auxiliary verb, the only thing that we do is add more stress. Okay, even though you can use this sentence, I do like soccer, and you already have an emphasis, right? So if you already have an auxiliary verb, so you only have to add stress. But how about these 3 conversations that we have? If we don't have any auxiliary verb, okay? So we're gonna add it, right? Notice that we are not trying to contract these sentences. I'm not saying, for example, if it's gonna be the last example, you score the winning goal, right? So we have to avoid doing that. No contractions if we're gonna use auxiliary verbs for emphasis, because we're gonna lost the emphasis word. In this case, I lost it, right? You scored the winning goal. Where is the emphasis? I don't have it, right? So for that reason, we have to avoid the contractions. And in this sentence, we have too bad you don't like soccer, right? But I want to emphasize this part. So the only thing that I have to do is check the time. Oh, what is it? Okay, I'm gonna change, right? I'm gonna look, sorry, for the time tense. So this is in simple present, okay? Simple present. So as I'm talking in first person, right? I know that the auxiliary verb is to. If it's in third person, I'm gonna use does. And then it's followed by the base form of the verb as it works, right? So yes, what else can we say? I do like soccer, right? And if you want it, of course, you can add a stress on the word, or if you don't want to do it, it's okay though. Because when we already say do, right? I do like soccer, right? We already have an emphasis, but it's up to you. And it's not wrong if you actually use the oh my goodness, the auxiliary verb for emphasis and the stress. It's okay. There is no problem. It's common. So then, or let's see this the second example. It seems like just yesterday. So we have third person. We have simple present time tense. This is my verb. So I'm gonna, as I want to add more emphasis, I'm gonna place, and the place I forgot. Oh, but we have this in that part, I guess. Where do we have to add the verb, the auxiliary verb for emphasis? Let's suppose you already have your subject, right? And you have your verb, okay? And then you have your complement, the rest of the sentence that you want to add. Okay, so as I want to emphasize the verb, I'm gonna place the auxiliary in this part, okay? there is a place, right? And it always goes like that. I can't modify this. I'm not gonna write it here and then no, right? The auxiliary verb they always work with the verbs, right? Not with nouns. So take care in that part. I do like soccer. It does seem like yesterday, right? You can omit each, it's up to you, right? Es de estas lecciones que si quieres puedes utilizarlas, si quieres no lo utilizas, unless you want to give more emphasis, right? But it's very, very common in spoken English. So,
Okay.
Do you have any question maybe?
No, it's okay.
All right, so in this third example, we have simple past tense, okay? The same way. And for you too, you did score the winning goal. So this is an emphasis. So I have auxiliary verb plus plus verb, right? Auxiliary verb plus verb. That's the structure, right? And of course, we are gonna apply the rule of the auxiliary verb. If I'm gonna use any auxiliary, then the following verb needs to be in its base form, and that's all. So in this case, if I'm gonna erase this, I could say seems, it seems. But if I'm using an auxiliary verb, I'm using the S as it corresponds. Okay?
It's okay.
Any question maybe?
What about another time tense, time plus?
Okay, if we have another time tense, for example, the present perfect, right?
Yes.
That's right. A simple sentence, I have done. Okay, this is the auxiliary verb, right?
Okay.
So it is also working as an emphasis. So don't worry. En estos casos donde ya tengamos auxiliares, porque esta lección solo aplica para el presente simple y pasado simple. Como ya tenemos auxiliares y sería muy redundante si voy a agregar el to, right? Entonces ya se omite. Entonces, ¿cómo puedo hacer para añadir más énfasis? La manera en la que vamos a pronunciar, right? Este stress va a darle el énfasis al verbo, pero no es necesario agregar porque ya tenemos un verbo auxiliar. And the same happens with has, with some modals though, right? That we've seen in the previous point. Where was it? Okay. So it only applies with the verb to be, right? Because be, it's an auxiliary though. Have, it's an auxiliary. Modals like we already have. So in those cases where we already count with the auxiliary verb, have, has, any modal, right? The verb to be. So we are only gonna pronunciate in a different way the rhythm of your sentence. Okay?
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, I get it. Thanks.
Okay. We're gonna continue with point number 4.
If the main verb in the sentence is be, we can emphasize it in the same way. Nick was innocent.
Okay, notice that we heard Nick was innocent, right? We have a different pronunciation, right? Como no somos nativos del idioma, solemos pronunciar de una manera muy diferente, right? Pero de la manera en la que vamos a pronunciar es una manera explosiva, right? No es de la misma manera que tenemos que pronunciar en castellano. Hay una lección específicamente de esto que es fonética. I'm gonna bring you for the okay, guess on Monday, right? For Monday, I'm gonna bring it. So you're gonna see what is the difference between the pronunciation, the English pronunciation in some cases, and the Spanish one. And it happens with all the cities, right? Siempre digo a los estudiantes que mientras más acentuado lo hagan, la pronunciación un poco más exagerada, suena chistoso, pero mientras más exagerada podamos pronunciar tal vez de una manera más explosiva, right? For example, if I ask you, where are you from?
I'm from Bolivia.
Okay, in what city?
I'm from Cochabamba, Bolivia.
Okay, so do you live in La Paz?
Yes, I live in La Paz now.
Okay, so this pronunciation is like a Bolivian person, right? Because we actually change the pronunciation in some cases, right? Especially the letter P. It's not P, right? I'm from La Paz. No, I'm from La Paz, right? It's a little bit more the mouth opened. So that's the difference. And then you're going to notice if a person is a native or it's a Latin person. I don't know who hers first or its first language was the English or Spanish, right? So we have to take care in the pronunciation. It's not wrong, but as soon as we could sound as a fluently spoken English, could be great. So
Okay.
I'm gonna review for Monday. Is there any question maybe until this part?
No, it's okay.
All right, cool. So we're gonna finish with point number 5.
We emphasize things for many different reasons. One reason is to agree with something someone has said. It seems like it was just yesterday when you asked me to turn up the volume.
Yeah, in a way, it does seem like just yesterday.
We also use emphasis when we disagree with something.
It's too bad that Talia is moving to Chicago.
She isn't moving to Chicago. She's staying at Newsline.
Okay, so we actually have many different ways to emphasize something. For example, we can use expressions, so do I, neither am I, right? I hate white chocolate, so do I, so do I, right? So we can also use, well, we have auxiliary verbs to avoid repeating a verb, right? For example, if I'm gonna say, John doesn't speak Spanish, but his wife does, okay? This does, it's an auxiliary verb. So we can also emphasize something with tag questions. Adam is Italian, isn't he? Maria and Nicolas went to school together, didn't they? Or then adding emphasis or stress to the word, to the verb, it's important to say that something is important. I thought you were studying. I thought you were studying. I am studying, but right now I'm having a lunch break. Okay. So my question is if you have any problem or if you maybe don't catch one of these lessons, especially the use of so do I, neither am I, for example, the tag questions. Do you have any problem on them?
No, I think I just need to practice, but I can understand.
Okay, that's cool. I guess the difficult part is when we have to form the structure.
Yes.
Many of, I have some students and they tell me that they understand, but at the moment that they want to form a sentence or they want to use expression, it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more complicated for them.
Yes.
Okay, so we have to see that lesson. Well, we're gonna continue with this point. Okay, so the first point, if we want to call like that to use this lesson, is to agree. We can also agree or disagree with something, right? So it seems simple present, like it was just yesterday when you asked me to turn up the volume. Yeah, in a way it does seem like just yesterday. Or if I disagree, it's too bad that Talia is moving to Chicago. She isn't moving to Chicago. She's staying at this line. Okay, so we already have an auxiliary verb and it's is. So that's the reason why we have the contracted way. and I'm only adding more stress to the verb. Okay?
Okay.
Do you get it?
Yes, but can we use is not moving to Chicago? Moving to Chicago? Without,
I'm sorry?
can we use without contraction?
In this case, yes. Yes, you can also use without contraction. You could say she is not moving to Chicago, right? The only thing that you can't contract is when you don't have any auxiliary verb by the sentence itself. So you are adding a new auxiliary verb for
Okay.
emphasis. So in that way, if I'm gonna try to do it in a short way, it's impossible. But a verb like is the verb to be, right, in general, or the auxiliary verb have or has, yes, you could contract it. Or maybe for an auxiliary, I would travel. I would travel. So I'd travel. So then you can contract. The only three verbs that you can't is if you're gonna use does or do. What is this?
Then.
Was supposed to be a do. Okay. All right. Do and the past of it, did. So these are the three ones that you can't contract with the neither with the subject or the verb, right?
Okay.
So then if you have any auxiliary verb of the form to be, the verb to be, the auxiliary have, has, had, any modal, yes, you can do it. Okay?
Okay.
Do you get it now?
Yes, I get it.
Okay, so we can also use auxiliary verbs in expressions, right? Especially there is the students always get confused in this part when we use the expression so do I. So do I, or neither,
You're right.
right? And then, oh, where is that? Neither, okay. Oh, we can say nor, and I, and then, right? This is very common in spoken English. When we want to agree, right, it's similar to this, with a positive statement, okay, we're gonna use so, okay, for affirmative sentences.
Mhm.
The structure, so, right, the auxiliary, and the subject. This is the structure. Then as we have auxiliary, we are gonna pinpoint, we're gonna come back and we're gonna look for point number one. So we have auxiliary verbs include do, be, have, models like can, could, should, and will. So then you have the option to choose whatever they want. It depends on your context. For example, if I'm gonna say I hate chocolate, a simple sentence, I hate chocolate. I hate
You're right.
it. How could you answer to it?
Neither I.
But if it's an affirmative sentence,
Oh, okay. So,
mhm,
so do I.
yes, so do I. That's all, right? That's all, no more. So do I. In order to, the purpose of this is avoiding the repetition though, right? No sé por qué siempre se trata de un idioma, hacerlo lo más corto, lo más contraído posible. Entonces, that's the other purpose of it. We want to, as a language, right? We want to do it a little bit more contracted and then, so we want to avoid repetition. If I'm gonna say, I went to La Paz last summer. So how could you answer it?
So did I.
Okay, if I'm gonna say in a negative way, we're gonna use this structure. Okay, so we're gonna use neither. We're gonna use neither the auxiliary, oh, for sure not, nor now we have the auxiliary, and I'm gonna copy this like this, right? Because I have no more space. So if I'm gonna say I don't like having a breakfast, how could you answer?
Excuse me, I couldn't hear.
I'm sorry?
I couldn't listen to you.
Oh, sorry. I don't like having a big breakfast.
Okay. I don't like having big. Neither I, neither. Yes, neither I. Or
And
we need an auxiliary.
where is your auxiliary? Neither.
Neither am I. Or does.
Neither do I, because
Okay.
you are talking about yourself. I don't like having a big breakfast. Neither do I.
Okay.
Or, for example, we're gonna change the time tense. Give me a second. I'm gonna rewrite the structure here because it was not clear. So we have the option to use neither. Oh, what is this? Neither. Okay, and we can also use nor, right?
Okay.
And then plus it, we're gonna add the auxiliary plus the verb. Okay, in this case, we already use an example with neither, and it follows the same structure as, so how about the other one, nor? It's similar. So we're gonna use, for example, I've never been to Italy. Okay. So if I want to answer to this question, to this answer, sorry, if I want to say that I've never been to Italy, though, right? So I'm gonna say, instead of repeating the whole sentence, as you can see, because I actually can say it. I've never been to Italy. Oh, really? I've never been to Italy, neither, right? So instead of repeating repetition, instead of, sorry, the point here is to avoid repetition. So I don't want to repeat the whole sentence again. So I'm gonna do it easily, and I'm gonna say no more. What is the auxiliary in this one?
Do I?
Why do, if we already have the auxiliary?
But we're talking about me now. No,
Yes, but you're gonna take the auxiliary. Okay, let's see the background.
Okay.
If you're gonna use do, does, okay, wherever of those two sentences, right? You can also use it with the simple present. Why? Because the auxiliary for the simple present are do
Really?
and does. Okay, so this is not the simple present.
Yes.
Okay, we have the auxiliary verb have. Entonces, cuando ya se tenga esto del do, does, solo aplica para el presente simple. I like, no, what was your example? Okay, I don't like having a big breakfast. So I don't like, so I already have the auxiliary verb there. So I'm gonna copy, that's all. In this sentence, I already have the auxiliary verb, so I'm gonna copy, and that's all. No, nor have I. Okay, give me a second.
Okay.
Right, nor have I. En caso de que no tengas algún auxiliar, que esto, y solo tenemos 3 casos en los que no vas a tener auxiliar. Cuando el verbo está en simple present, la oración está en simple present, y cuando esté en simple past. Solo en estos dos no vas a tener auxiliar. En los demás verbos sí o sí vas a tener, perdón, en las demás oraciones sí o sí vas a tener el verbo, el auxiliar. ¿Ok? Por ejemplo, si digo I play, no tengo auxiliar, pero está en simple present. Entonces me corresponde utilizar el auxiliar del simple present. Simple past, I played. No tengo, me corresponde utilizar el auxiliar que es did. En los demás casos, en los demás tiempos verbales, sí o sí vas a tener auxiliar. ¿Ok? No hay
Ok.
manera de omitir el auxiliar, por ejemplo, en el pasado perfecto, presente perfecto. ¿Ok? No siempre puede ser auxiliar, también puede ser la forma del verbo to be. ¿Ok? So, lo único que tenemos que hacer es, si por ejemplo yo digo, what can we say? All right. I went out last night. Okay. So how could you answer to that question? If you want to say I went out last night too.
So did I?
Okay. Okay. How did you take the, or how, what was your step for using the auxiliary verb did?
Because the statement was in simple past.
Yes. Yes, you have it. Right. We can also use, for example, I have traveled to London last year.
So have I.
Okay, that's all, right?
Yep.
I haven't eaten hamburgers since 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yes, in 2 weeks.
Okay. Neither have I.
Okay, great. If you want to choose the other one, how could you do it? Nor?
Nor have I.
Okay, that's all, right? Let's try. I couldn't listen to the teacher.
And neither could I.
All
Or
right,
nor.
that's all. Yes,
Okay.
you can also use no, right? And that's all. Okay. I had been, no. I had, what can we say? I had watched the TV show. I hadn't watched the TV show.
Nor
How about
hadn't.
you?
Nor hadn't I. No,
Nor,
had
sorry?
I. Nor
Yes,
had.
yes. Nor had I. Okay? And that's all. Do you get it?
Yes, I get it.
All right. So you're going to notice what kind of verb do I have? Okay? And then you're going to decide which are you going to use. But it's very easy. If I'm using have, then you have to use have. Okay, as this is not an auxiliary verb, we can use whatever auxiliary we have in the context. Okay,
Okay.
do you get it?
Yes, I get it.
All right. So what else can we say about this? Okay. Okay, so could you please give me two sentences using, first of all, we're going to start with so.
With so?
Yes. Wherever
Okay,
you
so.
want. For example, if I'm going to say, I don't eat much meat, right? But I do eat, oh, no, it's not part of it. I'm thinking on this. For example, no, there is no way. We need to do a conversation. No, first of all, we're going to try with this one, right? Only with do or does or did, right?
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Just a sentence, no the.
Just this one. Using do. Oh, I erased it. Do, does, and did. For example, I'm going to serve. I don't eat much meat, but I do eat chicken. I really prefer vegetables. How about you?
Okay. The people don't used to work on holidays, but I do work every holiday.
Okay, great. How about us? Oh,
Okay. I like to drink a lot of water, but she does
okay,
like,
all right.
yes,
Next one.
indeed. Um, um, Nobody was working yesterday at night, but I did.
Could you repeat, please?
Nobody was working yesterday at night, but I did.
Okay, yes, I did work yesterday.
I did
Okay,
work. Okay, yes.
all right, yes. Okay, that's all. As you've seen, it's not difficult. Okay, now we're going to. There is another way, right, to use neither. So it's like, for example, if I'm gonna say neither Tom nor Lisa answered the phone. Okay. Hay otra manera también de utilizar neither nor es para referirnos acerca de algún contraste. Ok. Ni tú ni yo. ¿Ok? En castellano sería algo así, ni tú has hecho el trabajo, o ni yo hice el trabajo, ni tú tampoco hiciste el trabajo, right?
Okay.
For example, neither my friends, and we're gonna place in this way, we're gonna use the neither, right? Then we're gonna use the subject. Okay, as I'm showing contrast, I'm gonna come back to use neither in order to repeat neither again. Neither my friends, neither I. No, it sounds wrong, right? It sounds terrible because we have the repetition of neither. So for that reason, both have the same meaning, okay? But the first one, the only thing that I'm doing is trying to show the contrast of something. For example, neither my friends nor I subject again, right? Then I'm gonna continue with the rest of the sentence as it is. Or I have had much time for fun since school started. Okay, and then you have your complement. I'm not using, this is a little bit more, well, the second use of neither or nor without using an auxiliary verb, right? And the second use of it is to show a contrast, right? Neither they nor we, okay, neither they, subject, nor subject, we, okay, have enough money to go on vacation this year, okay? Notice that I'm using it for negative sentences, okay? So neither you nor he is he, okay? That's a negative sentences. I'm not using any auxiliary verb, as you can see, but I'm using the contrast neither or nor. There is no difference, right? So I'm only using them in order to show items, right? In this case, we have two subjects. And this is the complement. Okay, and there you have the structure of it. For example, I'm gonna write, what can we say? Okay. Neither the actor nor the singer was at the party. Okay. Another one. neither Tom, right, nor Lisa. Oh, nor Lisa answer. Yes, it's okay. Answer the phone. And you can place this in whatever time tense you want, because this is not a time tense, it's an expression, right? In expressions, we can use them for all the time tenses that we could have. Could you try, please? Trying to do at least 2?
Okay, just a question. Can we use nor first then neither?
No,
Okay.
no, we
So
can't.
let's count. Okay. Neither. I don't know. Neither I and you.
Okay, no, give me a second.
Okay.
When we mention, okay, if you want to say together, me and you, right? It's incorrect to say me and you, right? We are supposed to use you and me, okay? So first I want to mention to the other person, if it's in the case I'm gonna talk about together, right? Of together. So I'm gonna say neither Walter nor me, okay? So then
Okay.
you can choose whatever complement you want. Try it again, please.
Okay. Like Spanish, really?
I'm sorry?
Like Spanish.
Yes. Totally
Okay.
the same.
Neither you and me are
Neither you or what, sorry?
and I.
Okay. And where is the nor?
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Neither you nor
Yes.
me
Yes.
are sleeping right now.
Okay. Yes. That's all. That's all, right? So you don't have to forget the nor, right? Again,
Okay.
let's remember the structure is neither subject nor subject. Okay. If you're going to use, for example, if I'm going to say neither the actor, the singer, so I'm saying that the actor is a singer though, right? So that's incorrect. So I want to separate neither the actor, okay, one person. The second person, the singer, nor the singer, okay? Neither they, okay, subject they. Neither they nor we, okay, have enough money to go on vacation this year. Do you get it?
Yes, I get it.
Okay. Try to use nouns, okay? And subjects, not objects, pronouns. So if
Okay.
I'm gonna say nor me, it's incorrect because me is an object pronoun. So we only could say nor I, okay? In some cases, in a street or yes, street English, right? En el inglés ya o sea, sí súper informal, sí se puede utilizar, pero como inglés aprendido, no, gramaticalmente está incorrecto, es decir, que solo puedo utilizar sujetos. No estoy diciendo neither they or neither them, nor us, no. I'm saying nor we. So try to use only subject pronouns, okay? I, he, she, it, and then, okay?
Okay, so the correct way was neither you or I.
Neither you nor I.
Right.
Yes, it was great.
Okay.
It was great. Okay, that's the correct way. Okay, we can also use this structure to say that, or to show a contrast, as I mentioned before, right? For example, what can we say? She likes neither tea nor coffee, right? It sounds weird, but we can also
Okay.
use this contrast, okay? She likes neither tea nor coffee. What do you think is the context?
She doesn't like tea or coffee.
Yes, that's so, right? So I'm showing a contrast, but it's a negative one, but I'm not using the negative by itself, not. So I have another way to express it, okay?
Okay.
Is there any question maybe?
No, it's okay.
All right, great. So that will be everything for today. So please don't forget to do the homework, right? And yes, I'm gonna launch the poll, right? If you have any question, then just ask me, right?
It's okay.
Once-
My boss is changing my schedules. So from Monday, I will work morning again and night. So I will be free in the afternoon if you can.
Oh my goodness. At what time? Since what time could it be?
On Monday, I will work from 5 a.m. to 2:30 o'clock. So I will be free from 3. I will be on my at home at whatever hour you
Since
want.
3
Yes.
till what time? Until what time?
It's no problem to me because I will be free all.
At night, are you gonna be available?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, yes, because at afternoon, the whole day, I'm busy, right? I arrive at home. My last class is at the university and it's at 8:30 p.m., right? So it could be great if we could have classes at night.
Okay, it's
At the
okay.
same schedule. At what time we were supposed to have classes? At 8? No. 9 to 10, 10. At night, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So I'm gonna see you then from Monday at 9 p.m. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Walter. So have a great weekend and I'm gonna see you on Monday.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.